Nowadays, we name things without actually knowing its value, what it means, or if we're offending a certain group. One example of this is the naming of sports teams after specifically Native Americans. We must stop this kind of naming in order to stop offending this certain group, Native Americans, and we must look into it and how it affects it. First of all, I want to emphasize on why it offends Native Americans and what one example of it was. Second of all, I also want to discuss how when this group tries to bring it up, their rights are actually being ignored and not really considered. And lastly, I also want to explain how if we get rid of these team names, how greatly it will make these sort of ethnic groups feel better and stop offending them. First of all, I wanted to go into the example of the team Redskins, which the team Redskins, which Aaron Stanley did a journal article on it named Redskin Name Change Supporters Carry Weight, which was posted in 2013. In this one, he states that a Minnesota congresswoman demanded that the Washington Redskins abandon their name and cease to exploit for profit a racial slur. The reason being is that owner Daniel Snyder and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell were attempting to justify a racial slur with a certain name. The Redskins' attempts to manufacture support, they tried getting support from Native Americans around their area, and they even supposedly lured a Native chief or so-called, but later turned out that it really wasn't a chief, that it was actually just someone with the nickname Chief, and who was actually only 1/4 Native American. He wasn't really Native American. And so this created even more controversy with their name because they were trying to hide it, or they were trying to actually avoid it by making someone up or just using someone as a backup and as like a screen to cover it. And so many of the Native Americans in the area actually felt very offended by it because they knew they were actually trying to cover this and not really put much thought into it. Second of all, the Native Americans Native Americans were actually ignored of their rights when they tried bringing it to court. This happened to be an article that the Associated Press posted in 2013 named Native American Sports Mascots. And in here they stated that the Redskins name and logo was the subject of a 17-year court battle between the team and a group of Native Americans that wanted to get rid of it. And in 2009, the Supreme Court declined to hear it, saying that it really wasn't an important issue. And this made that spark get even bigger, and so many people started making rallies and protesting against it. And for this reason, they believed that their rights were being ignored and they weren't really being listened to. Thirdly, if we want to change these sports teams' names, and if we accomplish it, we will greatly change the way in which Native Americans view the sports team. Not only will they feel like they stop being offended, but also it's gonna bring down a lot of the stereotypes that are out there. And one example of the kind of stereotypes or injustices was posted by 8Cindy S, named The Dark Side of Sports Symbols in 2001. And in here they stated that despite the apparent rivalry, the symbols around these sports are important because they usually set up kind of like the social dominance system, which means that Native Americans are being looked down upon and they're down in the lower level, and that maybe other ethnic groups, or specifically the white Caucasian group, are up here. And so they said that if they were to change these names, they would feel on equal level with them and not really being made fun of or even downgraded. So if we work together on being aware of how these names affect them and how these names offend them, we can actually help out that certain community of Native Americans, and we can affect them by making them feel equal, as well as reducing the stereotypes that are around there, and make them disappear in all.